Hello, welcome to the Monkey Nut Punch podcast. I just had to check out the right branding and not the other podcast.
I did that.
That would be embarrassing.
Right. I sorted that.
You sorted that beforehand. Okay, cool.
Co-host.
And as you can hear, I'm joined by what I can only describe as my fat man in Thailand, which is a reference from another podcast. if you're what do you call it? If you're subscribed on what do you call it? Actual podcast feed, you'll understand. But this week we will be talking mostly about Jedi Survivor, because I'm a survivor. And Keith will just, if I don't talk about it, Keith will find some way of squeezing it in. Some news in regards to Star Trek Legacy, which I don't believe. And we're going to look at the Flash trailer, which may be good, maybe not be. I don't know. I really think that Ezra Miller's going to get cancelled after the film comes out. But
much fucking money. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you just dropped your signals just dropped out for a moment.
So, apparently, the film has cost so much money, it has to be successful. And hi, Biffa, by the way, you're right, buddy. Yeah, it's cost a lot of money. But what do you want to do first? Do we want to do the news and get that out of the way?
Do you want to talk about Star Trek Legacy? Because I know you're going to.
Well, okay. So there's been a few things, right? Now, Alex Kluxman was asked a question about Legacy, and he said, loud and clear.
Keith, your internet is really poor, and you just dropped out. And your audio's dropped out too, mate.
Bloody shitty internet. I really need to sort this. Anyway, so Alex Kluxman has apparently, when asked the question about Legacy, has said anything is possible. We've heard the fans loud and clear. There's obviously more story to tell. We'll see. Now, he said something similar about the whole sort of wanting to see Captain Pike on the Enterprise thing in Strange New Worlds has happened. We now have confirmation of that said thing at the show, where basically the compare guy said to Jerry Ryan, so I hear you're coming back. We're going to see more of you in the Star Trek world. At which point, Terry Matalis cut in, but it's definitely there. There is definitely a look of awkward on her face, and Terry Matalis definitely cut him off. Right, that is real. And the podcast guys, who were the ones that sort of been interviewing Terry Matalis this week, put out and went, it's happening. What form it takes is going to be interesting. Now, I don't think there has been the sort of yay celebration for the Academy series that they were hoping for. Whether we like it or not, Discovery does have a small but quite devoted fan following. And it does. It does. I don't know what they say in it, but, fine. Right? And Academy is continuing on that story. I wonder if it's going to happen, because Discovery has never even got on the Nielsen list. Star Trek Picard, #1 on the Nielsen list by the end. Right? That's the first time a Star Trek series of all of the streaming shows has ever even got on the Nielsen list, let alone that high.
Since the 90s.
No, the Nielsen list is the streaming one. So I mean, they used to be. The fan outcry is still loud even 2 weeks afterwards. Amazon have rumored to have sort of seen the replay figures on the show and gone, they are really good. I've watched it through 3 times and just loved it more and more every time. The fan outcry is, if anything, getting louder. There are people writing more and more articles on this. The Hollywood press is picking this up now. I know we've got a writer's strike, but I think it is. Look, if Paramount don't do something, do not ride this sort of goodwill somewhere. I mean, I said to you last week, all they have to fucking do is say, we're bringing Terry back. He is coming back. We are going to do something in the 25th century. We'll give you more details later, or due to the writer's strike, we can't give you anything. But I think it will happen. Went to the theaters and watched.
Right. You went to right. So just a quick detour. You may have gone to Return of the Jedi, but I got to watch Alien and Alien Special Editions back to back in cinema on Wednesday, which was just awesome. So I now have
Aliens fan.
Massive Aliens fan.
Mhm.
I work for Wayland Yutani. That's how big a fan I am. Just hoping they'll send me out.
Well, Return of the Jedi, I've heard. Yeah, I didn't realize it was back in the cinemas. I think it's only in the US. It hasn't got an international release.
Yeah,
well,
no, I checked, and there was the Aliens Day thing going on. Anyway, sorry, Keith. I just saw that.
I'd take me missus to it to watch Return of the Jedi because she'd love it because of the Ewoks. But no, look. It sounds like in the last couple of weeks the sort of needle has moved, and there is a lot more in things coming out or being mentioned around Paramount, and the fact that the podcast guys have been confident enough to say, look, Legacy in some form is going to happen, whether it's a movie, whether it's a TV series, I don't know. But here's the thing: no one is talking about Starfleet Academy, right? No one is talking about it. Everyone is talking about Star Trek Legacy and not the Star Trek Academy series that they want everybody to be talking about. And I personally think I'll be surprised if we see Academy. If we do, I don't think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see it in a limited series run. I don't think we're going to see it on the level that we had Strange New Worlds. And I've said this week. I've been sort of actively posing on boards, and I posted on one board about saying fuck Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I want Picard. And there are so many people. I said, look, you go watch that Strange New Worlds 2 trailer and tell me, having seen Picard season 3, you're as excited for this as you were the first season. Because look, when with the first season of Strange New Worlds came out, everyone was a bit excited because we had only had Discovery and some shitty fucking Ren and Stimpy style cartoon thing on thingy. Okay, Prodigy hadn't really come. Then Prodigy came out, and the people who watched the cartoons and gave Prodigy a go went, ooh, this feels more like Star Trek. It's hopeful. And then Strange New Worlds came out, and people were like, well, this is better than Discovery. And the people go, I love this show. Well, do you? Is it just rose-tinted glasses? Because this is better than Discovery. And there's no denying it's better than the Discovery. But it's still Kurtzman Trek. It's still the same fucking lame-ass writing, wasting on characters. Every fucking character having to have some kind of tragedy in their past in order to make them supposedly interesting. Uhura never had lost her parents, never wanted that. None of that was mentioned. We had to give her a tragedy. We had to give all these characters a tragedy. The Doctor a tragedy. The nurse a fucking tragedy. Every fucking character, with the exception of Erica, hasn't had a tragedy. Number one, a fucking tragedy. And the fact that, she's fucking genetically modified. There's no clever writing about that. And I just wonder how many people who liked season 1 are going to go back to it with the same view after Picard season 3, because I can guarantee it isn't. I'm willing to make a prediction. It will start off strong and it will go, and I bet you we don't see a season 3.
Mm.
Because
that would be really good. Do you know what I'd really like?
What?
Terry Matalas and Seth MacFarlane do a Star Trek series. That would be fucking epic. That would be the most epic thing ever.
Look, I have to say that. Go on.
Because until Picard season 3, the only Star Trek we were getting was the Orville. It was. Yeah, I know you were like kind of, you sent me an episode of Strange New Worlds. I watched it, and I'll be honest with you, fucking boring.
Which one did you watch?
Boring.
Did you watch the
one with the warp drive where they made a warp weapon? I couldn't get through it. It was that bad. I really couldn't. There was the
one with the Gorn ship where Anson Mount was actually allowed to be a captain. That was the one good episode. That was the one good episode, but it wasn't brilliant. But it was it felt more like Star Trek than anything we'd had in years. But no, Strange New Worlds is not that great. And there's loads of people go, "Oh, I love Strange New Worlds." Okay, come back in a couple of weeks when it's aired and tell me you still like it. Go and watch that trailer. Tell me you still like it. 50-50. Some because they just don't want to admit they're wrong. 50% went, "Oh, actually." I said, "Yep, rose tinted glasses." Because Picard season 3 was just night and day different to anything we've had, and because people have, fell in love with Star Trek again and fell in love with the Star Trek that they grew up with, they're not going to look at Strange New Worlds this time around and go, "Oh, it's amazing." They're going to go, "Oh, actually, it's not that great. It was good when we compare it to Discovery, but when you compare it to Picard season 3, there is no fucking contest, none." So
right. So my concerns goes as follows. Yeah, Paramount struggling a bit for cash. They can't get a Star Trek 4 funded. They keep talking about it, but they can't. No one wants to put the money in for it. Not even China. Okay, so that's my first concern. The second concern: writer strikes happening. Yeah. Writer strike has bollocksed up previously, especially like Heroes. Remember Heroes? Yeah. Second season of Heroes, crap. Why? Writer strike. Yeah. So the writer strike happens. The other thing too is I heard some insane things where you expect a writer's staff on a series that does 22 episodes to be about 12 people. Yeah. Okay. So imagine something like Star Trek Discovery. How many writers do you think were on Star Trek Discovery?
Probably too many, but go on.
30 plus.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
They want more writers on these TV shows than they need. Yeah. So it's like you watch Doctor Who. Doctor Who is usually written by someone and then probably edited by Stephen Moffat when they used to do it sensibly. Yeah. When they had writers who actually bothered fucking writing. Now, I think one of the big problems is in Hollywood is they've got too many bloody executive producers that do fuck all. Yeah. There's too many executive producers doing fuck all. And then you've got too many writers just hanging around, not very good at the craft, not very interested in the craft. They want to do something else. Let them go. Let them do something else. Yeah. And just get the ones who can write. Because if you look at Terry Matalas's writing stuff for Picard, it'll be less than 12 people. Seriously, it'll be less than 12 people. Because you've got too many cooks spoiling the broth situation where you're having all these writers in. And the writer's strike is going to accelerate that. Now, to go off into tangent, apparently Netflix's response to we've got a writer's strike on is we're going to get writers in from Korea.
Well, yeah, that doesn't surprise me because the most popular show on Netflix of all time was Squid Games. Korean drama is quite popular. Around the world, it's one of the most watched international shows. That doesn't actually surprise me. I don't think the writer's strike is going to be as bad as last time. I don't. I think they will settle it.
I think they're gonna force things to change and not in their favor. I really do. And that's why I'm worried. This is why I'm worried that there's no. You're talking about Star Trek Legacy stuff happening. I was expecting an announcement pretty much when the figures came in for Picard's final episode, but no announcement. Given that you've got all these headwinds, is it going to happen? No announcement. It doesn't count. It's wishful thinking until you hear an announcement.
Okay. There are facts here. Paramount did not expect Picard season 3 to do as well as it did. Picard ratings after the first season for the season 2 were not that good. So the budget set for Picard season 3 really was quite low, as we know, right? No one expected Picard season 3 to do as well as it did. So much so that even a few weeks before the last episode, it was still touch and go as to whether they were going to do this IMAX thing. It was only through the middle of the season that really word of mouth started really taking it on. I mean, at the beginning, the ratings of season 3 were really poor, but by the end, they are the best rated ratings of any Star Trek show on Paramount Plus ever. Right? The fan petition has in the last week gone mad, and now the petition is higher than the one that was for Strange New Worlds. So there are more people signing this, and there are more people talking about wanting to see a Captain 7 series. So whereas there was some concern that this was just nostalgia bait, there are people going, no, we really liked Jack. We really want to see Captain 7. We even want to see Raffi. on the Enterprise. This series has turned it around. I don't think Paramount expected anybody to be this excited, and I think they were expecting people to be talking about Starfleet Academy. No one is. Even their Section 31 movie with Oscar-winning Michelle, they're trying to get YouTubers to drum up the excitement. There's none. Picard season 3 is still taking over all of that 3 weeks down the line. Someone at Paramount's got to go, look, we've made these plans, but we're wrong. Now, they did that with Strange New Worlds. Strange New Worlds was never meant to happen, right? That series was based purely on fan reaction. And the fan reaction for Anson Mount and Enterprise was nothing compared to this. So, look, they're going to make Section 31 movie because they have to. And Oscar-winning Michelle, will drum up quite a lot of marketing stuff. So they will make that movie. I will be surprised if they make Academy. And I think we are going to get a legacy series. I think if they know what's good for them, they will put some sort of you don't have to announce any actors. You don't have to announce anything other than you've got Terry coming back. That's all we need right now. I keep saying that. I think Kurtzman's response was that behind closed doors, Paramount are going, yeah, we want this. Come on, what are you doing? I just think it took them all by surprise, and it's even taken Amazon by surprise. I mean, it's up there on Amazon's recommendation now. Never has that been. It's on all the recommendations. I got Lem to log on to her account on Amazon Prime. Boom, it's recommended. That's a first.
Okay, so just one of the comments: if Paramount doesn't make Star Trek Legacy ASAP, Nintendo's Illumination will make a Metroid and steal Star Trek's audience.
I love
the next Nintendo film I think is going to be Zelda.
Yeah,
I'd put my money on Zelda. And then we've got Kurtzman moves on to other things better, and then announces Star Trek Legacy. Then I would be excited, and I get that makes perfect sense. If Kurtzman just did what the Segway owner, do you remember this? What happened to the Segway guy who invented the Segway? Went off a cliff.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, if Kurtzman did that, that would be quite funny. I'd laugh for weeks. I don't really watch Death with Death on anyone, but
here's the thing,
kind of pushes me then.
I'll make a prediction. He will direct the Section 31 movie. Then he'll go on to other things, because on his CV he can put I directed Oscar-winning actress, Michelle Yeoh. That's a good thing on your CV. He can go on to bigger and better things. Then they quietly bring in Terry. I look, Academy. Okay, we've got a writer's strike, but Academy's gone quiet. No one is talking about this show. Everyone is still talking about Picard season 3. They put this announcement out even before Picard ended, right? Maybe that was Kurtzman trying to steal some of the limelight because he's so jealous. It wouldn't fucking surprise me, but it has done nothing. No one is talking about this. Even the woke fucking media who love Discovery are not talking about this. And yes, Discovery does have a dedicated fan base, but it's very small. It has to be very small, or it would have a season fucking 6.
Very retarded.
Yes, it is. And Strange New Worlds has got. People keep saying Strange New Worlds has got, it has got a season 3. No, it hasn't. The actors are contracted for 3 seasons because that's kind of standard, right? So they have to pay these actors no matter what for 3 seasons. Doesn't mean they're going to make a 3rd season. And I would be surprised if they do, because I think it's going to bomb.
Okay.
But anyway.
I will not believe it until I hear it, because there are, as I said, there's there's 2 big headwinds. Yeah. Sorry, excuse me a second. Echo, stop.
Mine does that in the middle of teaching.
Hang on.
Just press the button on top.
Yeah, I know. I just did press. I did. I know. I pressed up. It's red. It'll be fine. It's not listening. I suppose it counts as an extra listener to the podcast. Where was I? It's those headwinds. Until those things, until I hear it, those headwinds could be causing the issues. Yeah, they could be those people in
you
Paramount
could be
be looking
right,
at
but
budget sheets and stuff.
Whereas it's
Yeah.
been like a desert, there are at least murmurings now, and you know, you've got to be a pretty shit executive not to see what's going on here. And I think what they're doing is waiting. There are some theories of people saying,
hang on a second, hold on a second. So you're talking about a shit executive who would, green light 5 seasons of Discovery, piss away huge chunks of budgets and bits from Netflix.
I know, but they're just...
Authorized lower decks. Oh, we I don't think they look at things like we do.
No,
we
but
wouldn't be getting the stuff.
There was this. I think it's going to happen in some form. I just think there's enough now to quietly say something, but we'll see. Let's see how well Strange New Worlds does when it comes back. Anywho, what are we talking about next? Oh, Mr. Master, sir.
The Flash.
Okay, this is
I don't know if this trailer's I don't know if this trailer's legit. Let's find out if it's legit, because it might not be. It might be bollocks. この映画が変える。地上最速のヒーロー。
Gareth.
In Japanese.
If he says Banzai, I'm just going to laugh.
No, I'm just going to... I'll just put it here just to see, because it's...
This is a different trailer.
This is a different trailer. But it's in Japanese. I'm going to just turn it off because...
is there any language? Do we have, like, English?
I don't know if we can get it in English. Subtitles on. Oh, no. It can't do English auto-generated from someone talking Japanese or Chinese or whatever language it is. Definitely isn't English. But
are they talking English now?
So, no.
In the past, and there's not supposed to be 2 of me. Hey, do the thing again. Fine.
That's already annoying.
I went back in time to save my mom, but I completely destroyed history.
蘇ってしまったのは最強の敵。
And you changed the past. You changed the future. I created a world with no metahumans. Want some help? I'm Batman.
That's happening.
This world must
I know.
die. What's the play? Batman, what do we do? We try not to die. Let's go! What did you do? No, nobody dies!
So there's the trailer's terrible. There's a lot more Batman in the second one. There's a lot more Batman in the Flash trailer.
Oh look, there we are.
Oh,
it's live. It says one person's watching. We've got 2. Let's have a quick look. Let's get the Flash trailer, the last one that was 2 months, 4 days ago. Let's watch the official one. Trailer for a trailer. Just saying. Weird.
I lost my parents. That pain made me who I am. I spent a lifetime trying to right the wrongs of the past.
But is this a Batman movie or a Flash movie?
Fighting crime.
At the moment, it's being advertised as a Batman movie. Yeah.
Would bring my parents back. You actually did it.
I can't imagine what you've been through.
I love you, Monkey.
You lost both parents in one day.
Barry! Carl, I got one now! I went back in time to save my parents. But instead, I completely broke the universe.
If you went back and changed the past, this world must die.
You changed the future.
Do you know what this symbol stands for?
Means hope, right?
I will help you fight Zod.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
I have to undo what I did.
These scars we have make us who we are. We're not meant to go back and fix them. Don't let your tragedy define you.
What did you do?
No matter what we do, we're not going to be able to fix this. No! Nobody dies!
You're strapped to your parachutes.
Where's yours?
Shall we take it apart?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go on then.
All right. So that's Ben Affleck.
Yes.
We know it's Ben Affleck because we've seen him. He's got the grey uniform on. So there is an action sequence with the Ben Affleck Batman.
Mm-hmm. And that's Wayne Manor from Affleck's Wayne Manor.
So got that there. Got the old Bat computer thing. Got the looks like you got that CD that they were messing around with on there. Let's have a look. You like this? I'm not really fussed with the Batwing comes down.
I'm a bit of a Batwing fan. I've got one up on the wall here. I'm there for this. The trailer is a fucking Batman trailer. It's not a Flash trailer. You know, the Flash is well, the Flash and Supergirl are in a Batman movie. If you watch this trailer without the graphics, but you know what? Michael Keaton's Batman, and you know, do you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. I'm there for that. So, I will go and see this. I will suffer through Ezra Miller because it's Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman. You know, this is what got me into the dark gothic Batman.
So the first question, who's this woman?
No idea.
I think it's Nora Allen. Everyone's like, oh, Vicky Vale, this, that, the other. I think it's Nora Allen.
It could be.
Because you see her, she's quite young looking, future, probably gone grey a bit. Yeah.
Could be. It could be. If he returns to the future, it could be. It could be.
So yeah. You've got all those different Batman costumes.
I don't know how they're bringing the two Batmans into it. Unless it's a different Batman universe, or Keaton is not Bruce Wayne. That he's playing, because in the Flashpoint story, obviously the Batman in Flashpoint is Bruce Wayne's dad,
and the Joker's his mother, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yes.
So
yeah, got those Batman costumes there. I always feel a bit bad because the Iron Man costumes are cooler.
I don't know.
He doesn't have to yellow glide. He can fly.
I love the yellow logo. I love seeing like the various different costumes that could have been if Keaton had carried on the role. And I'm getting member berries, and I know it's nostalgia feel again, but it's fan service. There's nothing fucking wrong with fan service when it's done right. The trailer is definitely done right. I just, you know, you've got the whole Ezra Miller thing, right? And I get it.
Ezra.
I heard somebody say, I think it was on Friday Night Tights. I heard them say, "Why don't you bring Grant Gustin back as the thing?" And I cringed even worse because okay, he's no Ezra Miller, but he's still a dick.
Oh yeah, but I think he would be a better Flash. He's got a freaking superhero sounding name, Grant Gustin.
Yeah,
he sounds like he's got wind powers. I'm not talking flatulence.
I mean, the Flashes over the years has got progressively worse. But I think I was put off it entirely when they fired the elongated man actor and how quickly the rest of the cast stuck the knife in. Just like how quickly Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and what's her face stuck the knife into J.K. Rowling, who
Rupert Grint
didn't. Their careers.
Rupert Grint didn't. Rupert Grint didn't.
Did he not?
He kept his gob shut. He kept his mouth shut.
Okay, I'm sorry, Rupert. Then you're a good man. But Daniel Radcliffe definitely stuck the fucking knife in. Go fuck yourself. And so no, I'm not.
Versus a guy who punched a pregnant woman, held someone up at gunpoint, stole an underage girl, and then claimed that he was in another universe. I think I can deal with an asshole better than I can with a psychopath.
No, fair enough. But they're definitely not using the Flash in a Flash movie trailer, are they? Not really. No. It's all Batman. But that's cool.
Have you heard of a comic book creator called Ethan Van Sciver?
The name rings a bell because I remember the Van Sciver bit because it's kind of a cool name. But I don't know where.
He's the one who invented the idea of the Reverse Flash going back and killing his mother and getting his dad sent to jail. So, someone's getting a royalty check off the back of that. Why didn't he go run, Barry, run? That's what I'm expecting. Yeah. This kid can't run, along with Ezra Miller can't fucking run too, which I find seriously annoying. Looks like this is the first. He makes the change, comes back, and then finds out. I don't know why it's freaking Zod. Why is it not the Atlanteans and the Amazonians?
Because he's coming up in his own movie, which curiously has also been delayed massively. I mean, that movie's been filmed for over a year, Aquaman 2, and we're just not getting it. We had a trailer for it, and we're still not getting it.
I think this here is entirely fucking CGI. Or he doesn't give a shit.
I don't know if he's in. But this was filmed a couple of years ago. I mean, but this movie's cost a hell of a lot of money. Like, it's widely reported to be one of the most expensive movies ever made. So it's got to do well. I mean, apparently it's got to break $1 billion. Hence why I think this trailer is just all fucking Batman, hoping that people will go with the member berries. Look, I gotta. The Snyder cut of Justice League is not panned.
I thought it was hack. The only thing I liked in it was the cyborg story.
It was better. I found it pretentious with the black and white and all the other shit. But Supergirl has no appeal now because she looks like a lesbian, and doesn't look like Supergirl. Supergirl, Kara, what's that face, was blonde.
Kara Zor-El.
And did not have short bob dykey hair. Sorry, but it's the truth. And how many times are you going to do this, Hollywood, before it, people are bored of this kind of repurposing of characters to make them into something they have never been written as. Anyway, I don't think this film's going to do $1 billion.
No, I think 800 million is optimistic worldwide in total. I think that's optimistic. I think that's as far as it'll go. I think the moment it doesn't hit that money, poor Michael Keaton, you get fucking axed. It's like, we don't want you back, Michael. So thanks. That's 2 films I've been kicked out of.
Again, I know how terrible the Batgirl movie was meant to have been. I still would have liked to have seen what he did for that movie. Look, I'm going to go and see it because I am going for the nostalgia figure, and I have a feeling a lot of people are going to do the same. I think this is going to be the second best performing of the current DC era films. It's not going to be Aquaman because it hasn't got the mum appeal.
Right, hang on a second. Right. Do you think Flash will make more or Indiana Jones? I hate to say it. I think Indiana Jones will. If you made me make a bet, I would think Indiana Jones will. I don't think by much. I think it will be pretty level pegging progress-wise, but I think Indiana Jones will just... There's something a bit more about Indiana Jones. There's no Indiana Jones fatigue. There is Disney fatigue because they keep putting out shite. There is a superhero fatigue, which might push Indiana Jones a bit further forward and cause the Flash to go backwards. That's my thoughts on that. What are yours?
I think Gareth is right. But there is the Michael Keaton factor of this movie, and it depends how much they push it. You know, the Michael Keaton over the years has had quite a following and as Batman, and Batman is still popular. Okay, there's fatigue with Batman because we've had so many bloody Batman, but this is the OG movie Batman. And you know, I'm Batman has worked for so many people in that first trailer. You see, you've got the Crystal Skull factor, right? And the fact that Harrison Ford is over 80, but they are making a point that the first, and Disney are heavily pushing it. The first 25 minutes of the Indiana Jones 5 movie, he's young, right? So, you know, it's going to be dodgy CGI for the first 25 minutes of the movie. But it is young Indiana Jones at the beginning. I honestly don't know. I think you could be right.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it's the other way. But I think you're right.
Okay.
I think
go back to the trailer.
Hmm.
Isn't Kara Zor-El's S backwards?
I honestly
because she's
don't
from
know.
a house. She's not from the house L. She's from Zor-El, not from. She's not a house of L.
Now you're asking.
I might be getting that wrong. It may actually be a new thing. And if it's a new thing, it doesn't. If it's before 2016, it doesn't count. So you can. I'm just saying. But when he points at the symbol, he turns. Hang on a second. When he points at the symbol and he says, "What does that mean?" He should say, "Tits."
That's what everybody's saying. Jesus
Tits.
Christ. You put that in a trailer. So, what do you think people are going to say? Anyway.
Yeah. So this looks shit. Sorry.
Yes, it does.
It looks. It's the texturing, the lighting. I've seen better rendering in video games. On record, I showed you on record last week, didn't I? Yeah, that looks better than that. Yeah, but and that's a game, right? I know you like this. That's a shit delivery. That is a terrible fucking delivery.
I'm not sure.
Remember how he delivered it the first time round? Yeah, he did it as a distraction to the Joker. Yeah, he was like, shit. He was like, if the Joker's going to shoot me, where's he going to shoot me? So if you see him figure out where he's going to shoot him, and he's like, I'm going to goad him into shooting me where I want him to. I'm going to change the playing field to do that. Please don't shoot me in the head. So he's like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts, to keep him distracted, because he figures that he's going to look at him behaving that way and reacts differently to just shooting him in the head.
Yeah, I think it's...
And he's blonde. I don't even look. That's
he's
not
grey.
Grey. That's blonde. Looks blonde.
I just think it's a trick of the light. I think he's grey. But that kind of worked for me. That Batwing kind of looks cool.
It looks cool, but I just wish they'd render it more. And then we get
really bad graphics.
So it's a Flash film. Why isn't the Flash front and center?
Because whammon.
And the worst thing is she doesn't look like...
Although you've got... Okay, look. I've heard this argument, though. Seriously, I would have put her in the middle, but back. Because you've got two Flashes. So if you have one Flash center and the other Flash back with Supergirl on the other hand, it would offend my symmetry. But I would have put
stagger
her...
them. You put the Ezra Miller Flash at the front. You put her second, like Silver, slightly back, and then the other Flash further back, perspective wise.
Yes.
Yeah,
you could do it.
You do it like that, and you have it so it's got motion in rather than stopping. June 16th, fair enough. It's Michael Keaton. We like Michael Keaton. That's the conclusion that we can both agree on. That we both like Michael Keaton. Come back here. Chopped into the Speed Force to find a load of stuff. Someone looks like they've died there with hairy arms.
Mm-hmm.
So
Could be his dad.
I was going to say, could be his mother. These days, you don't know. They just gave her hairy arms. They did a pickup shot and they couldn't get the actress back, so they got one of the grips and they used him instead. And then you got Ben Affleck Batman. It still looks shit. Sorry. I'm looking at
the effects don't.
Looks. I'm sorry. Spider-Man.
It looks like
PS4 looks better than that.
It does. Yes, you're right.
Sorry, I just.
Those cars look fake. The road looks fake. I mean, if you look at the car at the back there, it's kind of in the road. It doesn't look real.
Use the fucking Unreal Engine 5. Seriously. And then you've got
Kara lifting Ezra? Somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's Ezra, and I think he's going to get struck by bolt lightning. And then you've got this delivery. She looks like she's pushing out a poo.
It's not.
Look at the freeze frame.
Great.
Need more fiber. Need more fiber. Yeah.
I don't get this Kara's, this version of Supergirl. It just why do they have to make women more masculine? What is this?
Hang on, I will show you a picture of Supergirl, and you can work out why she might be my favorite female superhero. And then Rogue after is the next one. And then you've got this. Is this Spider-Man on the PS4 look better? Shooting at something. Batman again. Killing people. I mean, and then you got Batman.
That looks okay when he goes into like the Speed Force. That looks kind of cool.
Well, that's him getting his powers back, isn't it? That's the accident being recreated, where he's sitting there waiting for a bolt of lightning on the top of Wayne Manor.
Yeah, you could be right. Yes,
that is that. Yeah. I can tell you. Yeah. I will put money on that. That's a safe bet. So then we've got. It just looks weird. I'm sorry. I know we both like Michael Keaton.
I've just read the last comment.
We'll go there, I think. Camel toe. No! Look, I'll show you in a second and you'll go, oh, yeah. There's definitely two reasons. And then got this bit here. So just...
You see, when I worked in a computer game shop, I was a young and innocent. It was Gareth that told me about the new Raider plugin.
I didn't tell you about the new Raider plugin.
Yes, you bloody did.
That was Dave. I know, because he told me. It was Dodgy Dave. That's why we call him Dodgy Dave. So it's... The more I watch it, the less excited I am for it. I'm sorry.
It's not the greatest of trailer. I don't think it's going to be a good movie. I'm just looking forward to seeing Michael Keaton back on screen again. I don't think it's going to be a good movie. I don't think it's going to be like fan levels of Picard season 3 kind of thing. I think it's going to be bad. I don't think Biffa is wrong.
What's Biffa put?
Up here.
Replaced with...
No, BVS. No, this one up here. BVS panned, Justice League panned. Fashion feels more of the same. It's definitely set in the sort of Snyder universe, kind of level of thing. They're going with this because they've spent so much money on it, and they've got to kind of recoup the cost. This will be the final sort of Snyder-esque film, I think, before we then start getting whatever we're going to get next, which I don't think is going to do that well. I think there is superhero fatigue, but I think it is partly caused. I think there's Hollywood fatigue. In general,
I think, with all the message, I need to get that put in as a.
But it's not just that; it's the switch to these streaming services, and it hasn't done any of them any good. Nothing on Disney Plus has been that good. Look, The only thing on Disney Plus, when I was thinking about it on Star Wars, what are the things that I like Disney have done in Star Wars? Rogue One and Andor. That's it. And what we're going to talk about in a minute, but that's slightly different.
That's not Disney. That's the evil EA.
It's actually the best Star Wars in news. But that's another matter. I'm looking forward to seeing Keaton, but I'm not looking forward to seeing the Flash movie. If that makes sense. Well, you just look at what they've done with Supergirl. You know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get. They screwed over Henry Cavill. I thought that was dreadful what they did. I'm not looking forward to any of the fucking announced DC movies, even though I know what's his face as a director is pretty good, and I enjoyed what's its face that TV series that was not on. My brain's gone dead.
Your brain isn't generally dead.
Not the what's its face thing that he did, the streaming DC series that was funny with the guy with the toilet.
Oh, your
toilet.
Toilet.
The toilet on his head. It looks like he's got a toilet. It looks like he's wearing.
Oh, Peacemaker.
Toilet. Yeah, Peacemaker. That was good. I am kind of looking forward to season 2 of Peacemaker, and the fact that in the Shazam 2 movie, the Peacemaker characters turn up in a cut scene at the end of it did make me laugh. I've seen Shazam 2, by the way. Not as bad as everybody made out, but not great.
It was a completely average film. There was nothing wrong with it. Yeah. It was just, but there was nothing right with it either.
No, I agree.
Okay. Supergirl is my favorite superhero for 2 reasons.
I don't know why. I can't see why.
I don't know why either. Something about it. No. Just every time I see a picture of her, it's like, don't know why I like her a bit more than others.
I agree with you there, Biffy.
This podcast is people who are like, what the fuck's going on there?
I think they can pick up from the innuendo what you're looking at. Supergirl, there's 2 things I really like about her.
Dude,
yes.
As a kid, that's how I knew I was a man. Going back to go back to Helen Slater.
I was just saying Shazam is better than Biffy says Shazam is better than anything Marvel's making. Yeah, yes. There we agree.
Yes.
Helen Slater, a Supergirl.
That's how I knew I was a man, because it was like, dude, I want to do things to her. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do things.
And Steve says that's more like it. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know. Anyway, we're not sexist. We're not...
No, we're just men. But
come on, then. You've been wanting to talk about this all week.
Well, it's the whole goddamn reason I bought my PlayStation 5. Come on, let's face it. This was the game that I bought my PlayStation 5 for. And I love the beginning. The beginning was a surprise. Because I never thought, right, so EA had a Star Wars game, right? A long while ago, right? And I can't remember the name of it. What was it called? The one which was set on Coruscant, right? What was it called? Because basically it was set exactly where this starts. What was it?
Council about Dark Forces?
Yes, right. So you remember the trailer to that where they descend into the underbelly of Coruscant, right?
Oh no, are you talking about the 1313 one?
Yes,
there was 1313.
There was like this amazing trailer everybody got excited about, and then the game got cancelled. And they descend into the underbelly of Coruscant, underneath in the right. So Jedi Survivor opens with them flying past the Jedi temple with like Nazi style flags on it, which I thought was kind of cool. Empire flags. I thought, okay, so he took over the Jedi temple. That's cool. We've not actually really ever seen that. So I thought, oh, we're on Coruscant. I'd heard a rumor that we were going to get Coruscant, and we did. But we didn't just get Coruscant. We got the underbelly, and the trailer where the ship descends into the sort of hole is exactly what it was like in the trailer from that game.
That's the thing. It's like having sex with a loaded weapon. There's a chance that it might go off.
Anyway, so it descends into the underbelly, and you're playing on Coruscant, and fuck me, that opening 5 minutes as you're walking and the graphics and everything, it just looks incredible. Coruscant's over before you really know it. I mean, it's about an hour's gameplay and it's pretty good. You take on one of the Ninth Sisters on Coruscant, kick her ass quite easily. And that's where you learn about all the different stances. And you've now got the dual wielding stance, which actually is not as good as the sort of semi-dual wielding stance that you had in Fallen Order. At the moment, mine are still the double and single stances.
Dildos.
And then you get off to this new planet that is absolutely huge. And you very quickly realize that the entire band's broken up. So, and they keep giving you hints as to what has happened. But the music's there, the cutaways are there, and it just feels Star Wars. It just feels like Star Wars. And, you know, you land on this planet, you crash land on this planet. You got to go and find Kreese in a canteen. You know, spoiler, you find him, but not before something else happens. You run into this kind of like robot looking dude thing, almost like what Thanos style guy, and then he kind of walks off and you go, well, that's not the last you're going to see of him. Anyway, so you go through like exploring the world like you do, and you get to the point where you are climbing on top of this temple. This thing opens and you're expecting to find some kind of secret thing. It's a fucking Bapta tank, right, with a Jedi from the High Republic who has been preserved, you don't know how yet, in the Bacta tank. Anyway, he gets out, he's lost an arm. When you see him in like a flashback, he's got both arms. So some shit has happened, right? And you know, Cal saves him, everything's cool. He then takes the crystal out of his thing, does some fucking trick, it turns red, he puts it back in, boom, evil. But he's not totally evil. He gets, you know, that he got fucked over by the High Republic Jedi Council, right? You know he got fucked over. And so I think it's going to be a redemption thing. I don't think he's the ultimate bad guy, but he's the guy that we saw in the trailer in the Bapta tank. And right now his lightsaber's red. But there's more to it than that. And that's where I've got to. The next planet, Jeddah. Which I thought, okay, we're going to Jeddah. Now that's interesting, because for those who may or may not know, Jeddah is the planet they tested the Death Star on in Rogue One. So we're going there. I suspect we're going to find what's her face, Jedi Witch Lady, on Jeddah, trying to do something. But all is not good between her and Cal. The whole band is split up. We don't yet know completely why. Although Cal kind of, everybody else kind of found a home, and of course Cal hasn't got a home to go to, so he's kind of working with Sol Guerrera, and so he's got Saw Guerrera. So he's got the kind of Saw Guerrera kind of beef going on, and it kind of works. So far I'm really enjoying it. Graphically, it's fucking beautiful, and that first proper planet you go to, Kobol, it's kind of cool. It's huge. It's fucking huge. Much bigger than anything we got in Fallen Order.
Is Mothra in it?
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't know. I'm trying to avoid spoilers.
This is the thing.
I am trying to avoid spoilers.
Why don't they make that first one into a film? They could make the first one into a film. They could make the second one into a film, and people would love it.
Something introduced here where you could bring Cal Kestis possibly in and explain his absence in the thing. We are getting a third game. They've admitted that the stories have all been written. They are a planned trilogy of stories. There's something
more than they did for the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, there's something here. Yeah, but this does feel natural, whereas the other two don't like link into each other. It starts off going, well, why is it? This is 5 years on. It sets the scene. We're on Coruscant. That's kind of cool. They are, you know, Kreese is back on the Mantis with you. Spoiler. So you've recruited him. I suspect we're off to recruit Jedi Lady back again, but Cal's pissed at her. But I think I know why. But this doesn't feel like, you know, where Last Jedi was just not a continuation of the other movie. It feels like he's gone in completely another direction. This kind of feels natural because you get this scene where Cal and Kryze are talking, and Cal says, "Yeah, you guys have got a home. I've got no home. You know, I can't go nowhere. I can't stay in one place for any amount of time. People die when I stay in one place." You go, yeah, that makes sense. He's being hunted by the Empire, whereas the others weren't. That kind of makes sense. Kryze wasn't being hunted. So already the writing in this is way better than most Star Wars writing. And it feels, so far, I'm enjoying it. And it looks on the PS5. PC, not so much. Apparently the PC port is really bad. Like, really bad. As in, no YouTuber, even the sponsored ones, are recommending you buy it on a PC. But why would you? PS5 looks great. 4K TV looks fantastic. Looks really fucking good. The first world's been really good. It's got some new moves. You kind of start off with most of your powers that you had from, so it's not like before. Basically, I started playing Uncharted. This feels like Uncharted in the Star Wars universe. I'm cool with that. I'm kind of cool with that. I'm down with that. It definitely has some. I now see what Nigel was on about, where it's kind of borrowed a lot from Uncharted. But again, it's a really good story. Fallen Order had a really good story, and so far this is interesting. It's got me hooked. And I like the characters. I like Kryze. I like the sort of alien starship captain. He's not something we've seen in Star Wars before, but feels kind of familiar. I like BD1. He's right here.
BD1 is cuter than BB-8.
Yeah. That's why I have a life-size BD1. See? You can tell I'm a fan of this game. So far, Gareth, it's not disappointing. It's not disappointing. I am really enjoying it so far. I found a couple, like, we've got new sort of Jedi temple things that we've got to solve. They're pretty good. We've now got like perks, so you assign perks that give you leg ups and things like that. Mm-hmm. We've got a High Republic Jedi droid that we found and rescued. I like the fact it's linking into the past. There's things happening here that kind of make sense as to why it's not, you know, why Cal hasn't turned up in the main Star Wars story. And the fact is that they're not going back on old tropes. They're not sort of, they're doing something new. They're you know, something happened in the times of the High Republic that is now affecting us. And I kind of like that because, you know, we're finding out something about the High Republic, and it's pretty good. So we've got this High Republic droid, really annoying voice, but High Republic droid.
Have you seen this?
Yeah, I loved it. Really funny.
I thought this was like really nice Star Wars. I know Mark Hamill's a fruitier than a fruitcake.
Remember,
but
just feel it.
All right.
You're on Kobo. The Mogo Wampa thing is coming. You're not scared. Show me focus. Good. You're not playing baseball.
I like that.
Right. You will take me to the senator now.
You'll take me to the senator
no
now.
less risk.
I just like the idea that they can poke fun at themselves, which means that they had fun making it and there was some heart going into it.
Mark, you know I don't actually have the Force, right?
BD1 says no excuse.
I want that BD1.
You get 2 lightsabers?
Well, technically 1, but I can split them.
You never gave me 2 lightsabers.
Mark?
Duck. I'm gonna come across the Ragnar.
Now use your Force powers to pull that sphere.
I really don't need you to explain the Force to me.
But I'm going to be honest, that bit of marketing there is better than anything fucking Disney's put out. Jeez. That says to me, fun. We're not taking ourselves too seriously, but we're going to have a great time. Yeah. Yeah, he was. I actually liked him in Gotham. I liked the way, because there's always the thing about the 3 Jokers. You're supposed to have the Agent of Chaos Joker, the psychotic prankster Joker, and then I can't remember what the third one is, but he did two of them quite well.
I like him as the hero because he's not your typical Star Wars hero. There is angst there. There is always the cusp of him. There is bent up anger there, and I like that more than you ever got like with Luke Skywalker. That there is always the possibility that he could be tempted by the dark side, and that's always looming. But he's still a nice guy at heart. At heart he's a nice guy, and the actor really conveys that in a fucking computer game. And I love his relationship with BD. They are sidekicks. It's not like Luke and R2. This is different, and I kind of like it. And okay, there's lots of things that are done for the game, and you have to have certain things done for it to be a computer game. But I loved the Fallen Order story. I mean, I really, really enjoyed it, and it felt like Star Wars, and it was some of the best Star Wars writing we've had in years. Now, I'm a big fan of Andor, and I still say that Andor is probably the best Star Wars that Disney's ever done. But this is fantastic. This is really good, and so far the game's been really good. I don't know how it's going to pan out. I'm avoiding the spoilers. But it's kind of cool that we started off on Coruscant. I like the fact that we went into the underbelly of Coruscant. Never really seen that before, except in that computer game that got cancelled. So I think that was a nice nod. I liked seeing the Jedi Temple. Liked playing on Coruscant. Looked amazing. Really did look good. And the third planet we're off to is Jeddah, which was a surprise. I thought, oh, Jeddah, I know that planet. So we're off to Jeddah. Don't know what's going to happen there, but that's where I am right now. But I'm trying to build up my strength a bit on Kobol because I'm doing extra exploring at the moment and doing some side missions. Because the other thing that's new is you can do side missions, kind of like, almost sort of Hogwarts Legacy style. So whilst it's not completely open world, you are able to go and do side missions and do a few things, and the game doesn't force you to carry on to the next planet, which is cool.
Okay. Before we go, just like to point out, important.
Yeah.
And then my second favorite superhero of all time. I wonder why.
I can't see it.
Superheroes in the 90s, superheroes were like fucking both of them. Not to sound gay, but both the men and the women were like super sexy, full stop, from both angles. But no, we can't have that now. We have to have Captain Marvel look like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. Anyway, on that bombshell,
yes.
I think it's
we'll see
time
you
we
next
went.
week.
And we'll see.
Yes. Super poopies are pretty awesome. Quick, before we get chased off the air by a bunch of feminazis.
That's fine. On that note, bye from me.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.